My name is Justin Warner. What I'm here to do today is to give you a salad suitable for the apocalypse.
Hot plates.
We're in the backyard of Do or Dine, which is on 1108 Bedford Avenue in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I moved here from Colorado to work in restaurants. I got a job in the Museum of Modern Art's restaurant, The Modern. I was a captain there, fine dining waiter. I met my current partner, Luke Jackson, who's like a struggling artist, therefore a waiter. Luke has an artist friend named Perry, who basically invented a toy and made a lot of money and then turned that into real estate and then turned that into a restaurant that can barely walk. Sooner or later I called my friend George, who I met in Colorado, and brought him out here. Anyway, it's just the culmination of events, and we all lived in or around Bed-Stuy, and we just said, you know what, we're tired of spending our money in Midtown Manhattan. You know, we built this place entirely from the ground up by ourselves. You know, there was no architect or anything. You know, I don't know how to lay tile, but now I do. George and I were like, yeah, we've been roomies for like 5 years, let's live above the restaurant. But it's only 1 bedroom, so I'm like, well, we don't need a kitchen, we have a restaurant. So I live in the kitchen.
Question.
The infrastructure of the food chain is going to crumble. A lot of people say, oh, we're at the top of the food chain, but some might say that, you know, we're really just kind of a slave to it. That being said, if you think about it, there will be a mad grab for all of the things that are non-perishable, and people are going to go for the good stuff first. That means it will be like a bloodbath, essentially. So, in my opinion, you should go for the foods that will sustain you, stick around for a long time, be available in the apocalypse, and chances are your neighbors are not going to want to eat them. They'll pass them up.
Hypothesize.
The apocalypse means that a lot of infrastructure is going to be collapsing. Getting your own tuna is going to be a problem. So, we have jellyfish. You know, jellyfish is something that most cultures and religions think is disgusting. So there's a good chance that you'll be able to find it preserved in this bag or even in dried form once the apocalypse comes. Jellyfish is kind of a neutral flavor, so you want strong flavors to work with it. You know, if I just did this in like a light broth, they would just kind of taste like salty noodles. So you want something that's going to kind of adhere to it. You want to consider fats, acids, and salts.
Experiment.
Black garlic. When you get into it, it's not like regular garlic. It's actually kind of a mushy consistency. Vaguely sweet, almost kind of a weird smoky flavor to it. The next thing, some ginger. The flavor of this, which is that of both sweet and heat, is going to be pretty awesome, I think. Alliums. You know, garlic also is an allium. Alliums are basically things in the onion family. If you're getting like pummeled with, you know, the stuff that makes your eyes water, that's generally because you're not using a sharp enough knife. The compounds, the sulfurs that are in there that irritate your eyes are being released because your knife is sitting there like trying to tear apart the cells as opposed to like gently cleaving them. Next, a little bit more heat, that from jalapeno, but first things first, get some gloves on. And we're gonna cut this guy, cut that stem off, cut this in half. You can use your fingers to push out all these membranes. Now the majority of heat, or capsicum, which is the actual chemical that makes your tongue burn and your endorphins go nuts, is found in these seeds and the innermost membranes there. Just scrape that off, throw it away. Acid is going to come in the form of rice wine vinegar. Now, vinegar can occur naturally because it's just rotten stuff. Then slowly I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. All right, nice and green, looks healthy. I'm going to check on the jellyfish, should be ready to rock. The majority of the world does not eat jellyfish, so rock on, let's keep eating it because there's like plenty out there. And it's easily preserved. What we're going to do is shock the jellyfish. And what that's going to do is kind of make its texture increase in terms of crinkliness. When you blanch the jellyfish, you heat it in the hot water, and what happens there is the kind of external cells are starting to be broken down. That's what happens when things heat. That's why when you heat something, juices come out. It's because you're breaking up cells, and cells are filled with liquid, yada, yada, yada. So this goes into the boiling water very quickly. Now, it should be sufficiently cold. The ice is melting a little bit, that's good. And now it's just like we had it, but you can see that the total volume has decreased, and that's because it's all shrunk up. Aside from being unseasoned, it's ready to eat. Really crisp, refreshing texture. Is it beautiful? No. Will you have to share it with the other survivors? Probably not. In this instance, I think the psychology of this dish is a little bit terror, but a little bit of intrigue.
Analyze.
Super refreshing. Is something missing. It needs like a crunch. A giant leaf cutter ants. You'll be able to find these in the Amazon, where I'm sure you will have to take refuge. I would say their flavor is kind of like, I don't know, mushroom nuts. But you can hear that crunch. Add a couple of those on there, and boy does that look good. This is the apocalypse salad, jellyfish and leafcutter ants.
Interpret results.
Wow.